Not only was America an unsafe place for Black folks to live during this time, but the Dust Bowl was extremely hostile towards them. The governor of Oklahoma before and during the Dust Bowl was an extreme racist. His name was Henry David Murray. He went by the nickname Alfalfa Bill. Now, Alfalfa Bill did not only hate Black people, he actually hated Jews way more. He thought Black people had some morals, and he thought Jews were completely moralless. He actually won the election in Oklahoma running on a campaign that he called the 3 C's: corporations, carpetbaggers, and a racial slur for Black people that I'm not going to say here. He blamed Black people and Jews for everything that was wrong in Oklahoma, and he immediately heavily segregated the state, saying that Black people should only be kept in proper jobs, factories, or farms. Here is a quote from the book. "Blacks were inferior to whites in all ways," Murray said, "and must be fenced from society like quarantined hogs." President Theodore Roosevelt forced Murray to remove the segregationalist clause in the Oklahoma Constitution, and he was absolutely furious. He could not stand the Roosevelt family. Alfalfa Bill actually ran for president at the same time Theodore Roosevelt's 5th cousin, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, ran for president, and Alfalfa Bill said that the Roosevelts were secret Jews who were hiding their ancestry. He completely crashed out over the Roosevelt family. He was so furious when FDR won that he literally changed parties forever, permanently. Now, something really common at this time was to train hop, so to jump on a train, travel city to city, and try to find work. If you were caught doing this by a police officer, the punishment was 4 months hard labor in a chain gang. That's 4 months if you were white. You were not supposed to hop off of a train at all if you were Black. If a Black person was caught train hopping, the judge in that area did whatever they wanted, pretty much. There is one really horrible story he tells in the book of 2 young men. I'm not even sure if they were train hopping. They could have had a destination, but they ran into a very bad dust storm, and they saw a room in the train station that was open. They were also starving because it was the Great Depression. This room had some food in it, so they did what any person would do. They closed the door to avoid the dust storm, and they took some of the food that was in there. Not all of it, but they took some bites. Well, they were caught, and the judge who they were sent to was extremely racist. He made them dance. He made them dance in the courtroom for all of the people in there's entertainment. And for months and months and months, these men were locked in a cell for the crime of avoiding a dust storm and eating a piece of bread. I don't even know what it was. In The Worst Hard Time, Timothy heavily features a town in Texas called Dalhart. And there was a sign on the edge of town in Dalhart that said, "Black man, don't let the sun go down on you here." So these were sundown towns. These were extremely unsafe places for Black people to be. Now, in a prior video, you heard me say that the unemployment rate was 25%. That, again, should have had an asterisk by me. It was 25% if you were white. If you were Black, the unemployment rate was 50%, sometimes 60%. If you went to a job site in the 30s during the Depression, there were often notes posted up that said, quote, "No jobs for N-words until every white man has a job." In 1935, FDR sent out an executive order opening up his job initiatives to all races. The treatment of Black folks in the Dust Bowl is just another example of settlers bringing Black folks to a place to perform hard labor for very little money, and then getting angry with them for being there. I've gotten several comments for me calling out the fact that white farmers caused the damage in the Dust Bowl, because that is true. By this point in American history, Black folks were master gardeners. This is part of the reason the Tulsa race riots happened. They were master gardeners. They were figuring things out that other people were not. If it's any consolation, Alfalfa Bill was essentially blacklisted from politics because he crashed out on a little kid at one of his rallies. The little kid spoke up for FDR, saying that he was helping the region, and he called him a little worm or something, a little ground worm, and he was like pointing at him and screaming at him, and he never recovered.